Tonight's race was like having sex with a horse. It takes off running, and you're along for the ride. You're bouncing around, crashing into shit, and you don't really know how to feel once the whole experience is over. I know I could have used a better metaphor, but that's what I'm going with. Let's just get started. Right, so this was the last race of round 2, a cutoff race, right at the Charlotte Roval, one of the most rambunctious road courses on the circuit. And boy, it did not disappoint at all. The action from Stage 1, Stage 2 mostly came from the racing itself. Really good racing around trying to just get by cars, make way to the pack. Obviously, as a Hendrick fan, I was focused on the 2 cars outside the bubble, which was William Byron and Alex Bowman. Byron had a really good car, and he was able to really make some moves through the pack. He pitted early for tires and gas to put him in a better position to win the race. That's what he had to do. But I did notice that he was able to make a lot of moves. Stage 1 was won by Chase Elliott, who made a great last lap pass on AJ Allmendinger to win the stage. And I think Denny Hamlin won Stage 2. Or no, Kyle Busch won Stage 2. Yes, by a good margin. Kyle Busch definitely one of the dominators of the first part of the race, along with Hamlin, if I remember correctly. The real fun began with near the end of Stage 2, I believe it was, or around there, when both Alex Bowman and Kyle Larson had problems with their alternators. Alex Bowman never really recovered, and he ended up finishing 11th, or 10th, but he was stuck in the back for most of the race because they weren't able to fix his stuff right away. And Kyle Larson had the same problem that would cause him to have to pit multiple times in order to fix the damn thing, which actually resulted him at one point being under the playoff cut line and would have been eliminated had the race ended at that point. But the fact that Larson, 7 wins, trying to get it in frame there, 7 wins, and wouldn't have gotten into the round of 8. That would have been really stupid. I know NASCAR loves the chaos element of playoffs, but seriously, that's not good. That's not how racing should be. Look at IndyCar, F1. They don't need that kind of fucking shit. Seriously. The other big important stuff was, well, Kevin Harvick versus Chase Elliott. Obviously, Harvick, we did not forget Bristol, as was shown. Obviously, on Chase's, probably his best track, he pulled this. Oh, what? No! No! Fuck! Why? Elliott, rear end destroyed. Son of a bitch. Here we are. Now, he slammed into the 41, which that crash, but there was some damage already. There was a 9, got spun out. Oh, fucking Harvick. I guess someone didn't forget Bristol.
Kevin Harvick, was that the payback from Bristol?
Gee, what the fuck do you think, Letart?
Let's take a look. You're clear.
Well, you can shove it up your ugly ass. Yeah, I was not particularly pleased about that. Obviously, as a Chase fan, I did want the number 9 to pull off the W, or at least come close. So that was very upsetting. But Chase was able to stay on the lead lap through all the repairs it to do with that rear end, and even managed to make his way back up to Kevin Harvick, trying to wreck him, and then this happened. Harvick having problems here. He's going to be stuck 3 wide between Bell and Dillon, while Larson is chasing down Hamlin for that lead. Oh, here comes the 9 behind the 19 of Truex. He's only a couple cars away. The 4 spun the 9 earlier. Now will the 9 pay him back? Coming with 11 laps to go. Going into turn 1. Oh! Harvick locks it up! And slams it into the wall! Whoa! Karma's a bitch, motherfucker! As far as I'm concerned, this is over. I don't really need to see any more. I don't want to see any more wrecking like that. It kind of just ruins NASCAR when it's just bumper cars. But Harvick wrecked himself. I hope that puts it to rest. Although I assume that with Kevin Harvick's attitude and Chase Elliott saying, I hope Harvick has a merry off-season and a happy Christmas, there's going to be more to come. The real story near the end of the race was William Byron, as he was leading within the last 50 laps, led 30 laps, and, well, he was able to hold Tyler Reddick, and actually led the most laps of any driver that day. However, Chase Elliott's caution with his bumper cover falling off caused him to pit and went on his way back to the lead. Reddick accidentally spun him out into the chicane, or pushed him into the chicane, so that caused him to fall back to 12th. Then Harvick crashed, and that caused another caution, allowing Byron to battle back all the way up to 3rd from 12th, but eventually it just wasn't enough, as is shown with the last bit of the race. Final lap at the Roval. Larson in the lead, looking for win number 7 on the season. And here's freaking Byron spinning out. Such a great run to go away. But hey, Larson's leading, and that's still something good, but could have been better. Could have been better with Chase as well, but man, Hendrick has had a rough day today. 2 cars having engine problems. Chase getting wrecked, and now Byron spinning out right there. He needed that win, as you can see on the left. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that. I don't think he would need a 60-point. Problem is, he needs to be 60 above 5th, which he isn't. Yeah, he's won twice. No, he's won twice at road courses already. Won at Sonoma and Watkins Glen. But now he's coming through the second to last chicane. All he has left is 5 turns. Hasn't had a ton of momentum. Like, he's had problems at Talladega that completely stumped him. It put him in a position where he might have to step it up, and he did step it up. Now going through turns 15, 16, and 17, Kyle Larson wins the Bank of America Roval 400. Reddick second, and then the rest of the field is just way too far back. But what a win. After having alternator problems, he pulls off the W. So yeah, Kyle Larson wins his 7th race of the season. That's his 13th overall, tying him with Chase Elliott and former Hendrick driver Tim Richmond. And how about that? Larson has now won more races this season than he has throughout the rest of his career, which is freaking insane. Looking at the top 10, obviously Larson won the race. Tyler Reddick had a really hard charge throughout the last 40 laps or so, just trying to get to the lead. He never was able to, but he got really, really close. Chris Buescher, up there for a while, managed to finish 3rd. Kyle Busch, his best finish ever in the Roval, in 4th. Denny Hamlin, another good run. The combined forces of Busch and Hamlin led 47 laps that day. Matt DiBenedetto, a really good run as well, finishing 6th. Bell had a good run, finishing in 8th. Bowman able to salvage his alternator problems with 10th place. And the same goes for Larson, having his alternator problems and winning the race. And the Penske teammates, Logano and Blaney, finishing 7th and 9th respectively. Not shown here are Byron and Elliott, who finished 11th and 12th. Ran really great races, but man. So now we're down to the top 8. So Kyle Larson has a 42 point lead over 5th place. So that puts him in a pretty good position. He's got more than double the playoff points of the next driver, Denny Hamlin. So he should be in a pretty safe spot, especially with Texas and Kansas coming up. He won at Texas early in the year and was leading near the end of Kansas. I think he's going to be in a good spot to definitely stay afloat and make it to the Final 4. Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., teammates 2nd and 3rd. They also are the only 2 other playoff drivers who have won in the playoffs so far. They could probably make it. I think Denny Hamlin definitely will. Martin Truex Jr. I'm iffy about. We'll see if his mile-and-a-half package is good. Blaney is right on the cut line. He's 1 over Kyle Busch, who is 1 under. His Blaney's corporate teammates Logano and Keselowski in 7th and 8th, and Chase Elliott rounding out, being 2 under the cut line right there. As for who I think was going to make it, I guess, from the round of 4, now I had Larson, Hamlin, and Busch, and Elliott, but I also had Kevin Harvick as well. At this point, I would say Ryan Blaney, seeing as I think he's still having a really good playoff year, and I think this is going to be the year he's going to make it to the Final 4. As for who I think is going to win Texas, I think I'm going to put that as Kyle Larson, because, well, Larson and mile-and-a-halfs. If they can do the freaking pit strategy well, they've got this well in hand. Overall, my thoughts on the race, I did actually enjoy watching it. I was very tense throughout the whole time, because I knew that, worst case, I might only have one Hendrick driver. Best case, it might be 3. I don't know. And if it was him in the middle, I didn't know if it would be Elliott or if it would be Byron. So I was definitely on the edge of my seat watching it. And I was hoping for all 3 right at the end. It would have never happened. But great racing in the front and in the middle. This road course racing is one of my favorite aspects of NASCAR now. And I'm really glad we got another banger of a race. So, yeah. Good stuff. Probably about an 8 out of 10. Anyway, this is going to be the end of today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And have a good one. I'll see you next week for Texas.